Man, man. Bro, I have been losing my voice since opening day, bro. Crazy bit of news we've been getting from the NBA so far today, man. Crazy set of news we've been getting from the NBA. Let's get right into it. Obviously, the breaking news is that Chauncey Billups has been arrested by the feds. Terry Rozier has been arrested by the feds. Damon Jones, my God, today. My God, today. Wait a minute. Does that say the Lakers? Oh, man. Let's get into this press conference, man. Let's get into this press conference. Let's see what they are talking about. Brother. They said Chauncey Billups was playing poker with the mafia. Let's get into it. 30 people have been arrested. Shout out to the YouTube
Good morning,
chat as well.
everybody.
We're live on YouTube
My
as
name
well.
is
What's
Joseph
up, Steve-O?
Nocella. I
Everybody
am
in
the
the
United
YouTube
States
chat, make sure
Attorney
you like
for
the
the
stream.
Eastern District of New York.
What's up, sports fan?
I'd like to welcome you here today. In addition, we have with us today FBI Director Kash Patel, FBI Assistant Director in Charge Christopher Rea of the New York Field Office, Special Agent in Charge of the New York Field Office Leslie Bakshies, New York Special Agent in Charge of Homeland Security Ricky Patel, Newark Special Agent in Charge of Homeland Security Michael McCarty, Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, Chief of Detectives Joseph Kenny, and the Executive Director of the Waterfront Commission, Phoebe Sorrell. I'm now going to turn the podium over to FBI Director Kash Patel.
Good morning. Today we are here in New York to announce a historic arrest across a wide-sweeping criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Casa Nostra. The men and women up here standing with me represent a small portion of the leadership team that brought profound justice in an era that needed it more than any. I'll just highlight some of the details in the case and the FBI work, and then you'll hear from the others. But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today, former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years.
I will say this. Now, if there's some gambling going on in the NBA, probably wouldn't surprise me one bit. And this is what happens, mind you, when you start adding all of the betting to sports, right? Chauncey Billups is literally playing poker with the mob. They've been sponsoring this for years now, and here we are. But I will also, this is a caveat I will add. Of all the leagues, the FBI is coming down harder on the NBA. Why is that important to me? I do think that the NBA has done the least kowtowing to said president. Because to me, there's no way that you're telling me. There's no way you're telling me that there's nothing to find in the NFL. There's no way you're telling me. There's no way. What's up, Toast? The gold in the chat. What's up, Rays? I'm just saying. What's up in the YouTube chat, man? Make sure y'all like the stream. I'm just saying, man, there's no way if they wanted to do this to the NFL, I'm sure this is possible. Obviously, baseball as well. No, I'm not on PC. I told y'all last night I'm not scheduled today.
The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Cosa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchesi crime families. And you'll hear more about those details today. The charges and the arrests that were taken down across this country range from wire fraud, money laundering, extortion, robbery, illegal gambling. This FBI will leave no room for any perpetrator of crime across the country. You hear a lot about our work of defending the homeland and crushing violent crime. Well, this work is also representative of a colossal portion of the FBI's mandate to keep America safe and to keep our entertainment industry fair and secure. The men and women that are standing up here today worked tireless hours, days, months, and years. And the fraud is mind-boggling. It's not hundreds.
Boy, they finna bring Jesus back for they release them files. We finna figure out how to cure every terminal disease before we get them files. But I tell you the truth.
Hundreds of dollars. It's not thousands of dollars. It's not tens of thousands of dollars. It's not even millions of dollars. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in fraud and theft and robbery across a multi-year investigation. And we could not have done it without our interagency partners that are before us today. The NYPD, HSI, and teams of law enforcement officials from around the country made this day possible. It takes a team to bring this kind of justice, sweeping justice, into the halls of the United States courtrooms, where our brave United States attorney has led this prosecution. It takes courageous prosecutors to stand before you and say, we will not allow this kind of illicit activity to happen, not only at the national sporting level, but also where it hides in La Cosa Nostra. And when these two collided together, they perpetrated a fraud that is historic in terms of not just money, but the scheme and the deceit that they utilize to steal and swindle people from money, to include crypto fraud. This is an operation that showcases to you that under President Trump's administration, there is no room for any type of criminal behavior, be it on the world's largest stage.
Oh my, shut up. Oh my goodness. And the fact that he brought up Trump it confirms my belief. Confirms my belief. They're doing this to this specific league for a reason. Also, were they holding these poker nights at Gil's house? Is this what Gil got arrested for? No, not these. They were at Paul Pierce's crib. Gil had to know, bro. This is crazy, man. Shout out to the 200 plus in the playback. Become a member of the room if you're not a member of the room. And shout out to the what we got over there at YouTube, 79 plus over there at YouTube. Make sure you like the stream. We are going to get down to the bottom of this today, ladies and gentlemen. This morning, we are getting down to the bottom of it.
Or in the back rooms of tiny parlors where guard games are being played. We are proud to stand here today with the men and women of the FBI and this legal team. And to the United States Attorney, I just want to thank you personally for taking the time to display the work that the media is about to hear about today in detail. As I said, it does take courageous prosecutors, but it takes a courageous United States Attorney to bring this case because we are going to take heat for it. But we don't shy away in this administration. We don't say no. What we do is we bring the results across the finish line. We bring them to the public. We bring you accountability. And yes, they will have their day in court, and you will hear the evidence through the court system exclusively. We will not deny anyone of due process. And that's the brilliance of this system. That's the brilliance of this administration. Everyone will be held to account. So with that, I turn it over to United States Attorney Nosella. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Patel. To be clear, we're announcing today indictments in two major cases, both involving fraud. One involves sports betting, and the other involves illegal gambling, very specifically rigged poker games. The first indictment involves 6 defendants who are alleged to have participated in one of the most brazen sports corruption since online sports betting became widely legalized in the United States. This scheme is an insider sports betting conspiracy that exploited confidential information about National Basketball Association.
Facts. How do you rig poker games? Nigga, are they playing with faulty dice? They playing with weighted dice? Like, what? What's up, Makai? They finna tell you? Let's continue. Let's get
Athletes and teams. The second indictment involves 31 defendants alleged to have participated in a nationwide scheme to rig illegal poker games. These defendants, which include former professional athletes, used high-tech cheating technology to steal millions of dollars from victims in underground poker games that were secretly fixed. The games in the New York area were backed by the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese crime families of La Cosa Nostra. While the cases are separate, there are 3 overlapping defendants charged in both cases: Damon Jones, Eric Ernest, and Shane Hennon. The indictments in these cases contain only allegations, and the defendants are presumed innocent until they are proven guilty in a court of law. But my message to the defendants who've been rounded up today is this: your winning streak has ended. Your luck has run out. Violating the law is a losing proposition, and you can bet on that. First, I would like to talk about.
He practiced that line in the mirror all this morning. He practiced them lines in the mirror. He been up since 5 a.m. practicing them lines. Now, also, they said these were held in New York. That's what he just said. By a mob family. Yeah, Casa Nostra. Okay. Multiple mob families. If we could, Dre, if we could get some info on some of these mob families, put them in our text thread. Let's get some backup info on some of these mob families.
United States versus Ernest, the NBA basketball gambling case. The defendants in this case are Eric Ernest, Marvez Farley, Shane Hennon, Deniro Laster, Damon Jones, a former NBA player and coach, and Terry Rozier, a current NBA player. Other co-conspirators were previously charged for their roles in the scheme, including former NBA player Jontay Porter. Between December 2022 and March
Wait, hold on. Let's go back. Let's make sure we
former
hear all
Shane
the
Hennon,
names.
Deniro Laster, Damon Jones, in the NBA basketball gambling case. The defendants in this case are Eric Ernest, Marvez Farley, Shane Hennon, Deniro Laster, Damon Jones, a former NBA player and coach, and Terry Rozier, a current NBA player. Other co-conspirators were previously charged for their roles in the scheme, including former NBA player Jontay Porter. Between December 2022 and March 2024, these defendants perpetrated a scheme to defraud by betting on inside, non-public information about NBA athletes and teams. The non-public information included when specific players would be sitting out future games, or when they would pull themselves out early for purported injuries or illnesses. They relied on corrupt individuals, including Jones and Rozier. They also misused information obtained through long-standing friendships that they had with NBA players and coaches. And in at least one instance, they got their information by threatening a current player, Porter, because of his pre-existing gambling debts. Defendants used this non-public information to place hundreds of thousands of dollars in fraudulent bets, mostly in the form of prop bets on individual player performance. The bets were placed through online sports books and also in person at casinos. The defendants relied on a network of straw bettors to place the maximum amount of bets to increase their potential profits. Most of these bets succeeded, and the intended losses were in the millions of dollars.
You know, this is actually funny because I think it was Paul Pierce that was recently on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp. I'm pretty sure. It was either that or another interview, another former NBA player getting interviewed. But they said a lot of NBA players live paycheck to paycheck, which blows my mind. Current or retired? No, current. Like NBA players that are in the league are living paycheck to paycheck because it's keeping up with the Joneses. I don't know if y'all know what that saying means or have heard that before. To us, they are rich, right? Beyond wildest imagination. But when you own the team with LeBron, or you on the team with Devin Booker and you're Ryan Dunn, that $8 million a year that you making, Devin Booker just spent $8 million on a card last week. Because he making $80 million a year. And so a lot of times these players will overcompensate, trying to keep up and look like people that are in a whole nother bracket from them. Because you have, to many, you need to look like an NBA player when you're in the NBA. You need to look like the others who are making $50+ million a year, which is how you lead to situations like this and how you find yourself in situations like this. Terry Rozier trying to get some more money on the side when he already probably getting what, 100K a week? Probably lowballing it too. That's just, I ain't even doing the math. But you get what I'm saying. He needs to go make this 200 illegal off a bet. Come on, bro. That's how you find yourself in these situations. Overspending. Now you in a Fed case and you a whole millionaire. Fed case about betting, you a whole millionaire.
The defendants then laundered their illegal winnings in various ways: peer-to-peer platforms, bank wires, and simple cash exchanges. The indictment details specific examples where the defendants profited from illegal gambling and illegal betting on various NBA games about the performance of players on, among other things, the Charlotte Hornets, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Toronto Rangers. Each defendant in the NBA basketball gambling case has been charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering.
Y'all heard that? The Toronto Rangers? Count your days. Count your days, brother. We heard Lakers too. We're gonna skip past that. We're gonna skip past that. We're gonna skip past that. The Lakers are involved. They said one of the arrestees is Damon Jones. Damon Jones is tied to who? Okay, in the other situation in Miami, when there was a steroid case going on and there are initials of LJ on them getting picked up by a guy with the initials of RP, that got shut down.
Now, I would like to turn to the other case, United States versus Aiello, the rigged poker game case. Beginning as early as 2019, the defendants in this case orchestrated a scheme to use wireless cheating technology to run rigged poker games across the United States, including in the Hamptons, Las Vegas, Miami, and Manhattan. The scheme targeted victims known as, quote, fish, who were often lured to participate in these rigged games by the chance to play alongside former professional athletes who were known as, quote, face cards. The so-called face cards included the defendant Chauncey Billups, who at the time of the scheme was a former NBA player and is currently the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, and also Damon Jones, a former NBA player and coach. What the victims, the fish, didn't know is that everybody else at the poker game, from the dealer to the players, including the face cards, were in on the scam. Once the game was underway, the defendants fleeced the victims out of tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars per game. The defendants used a variety of and
I'm trying to hear. Let's get a clear understanding of what's going on. Not that I'm trying to learn
gambling and illegal
apply myself. I'm just trying to see what they got going on.
Betting on various NBA games about the performance of players on, among other things, the Charlotte Hornets, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Toronto Rangers. Each defendant in the NBA basketball gambling case has been charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Now, I would like to turn to the other case, United States versus Aiello, the rigged poker game case. Beginning as early as 2019,
Okay, so this is a whole nother case that we're going to go over right now. So the other thing was dealing with the betting situation and scam. Now we're getting to the poker games. I'm pretty sure these are involving the mafia.
the defendants in this case orchestrated a scheme to use wireless cheating technology to run rigged poker games across the United States, including in the Hamptons, Las Vegas, Miami, and Manhattan. The scheme targeted victims known as, quote, fish, who were often lured to participate in these rigged games by the chance to play alongside former professional athletes who were known as, quote, face cards. The so-called face cards included the defendant Chauncey Billups, who at the time of the scheme was a former NBA player and is currently the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, and also Damon Jones, a former NBA player and coach. What the victims, the fish, didn't know is that everybody else at the poker game, from the dealer to the players, including the face cards, were in on the scam. Once the game was under...
Oh my goodness, bro. Let me tell y'all something. Man. You can't trust a soul out here, bro. These people thinking, you know what? I'm finna go play a little poker with some other fellow wealthy, rich individuals. There should be no need for cheating. Whole time, everybody else in on the scam, but your dumb. Whole time. Just in there, just finna lose millions of dollars. And everybody know it. But you. Man, oh man, oh man. This is crazy. This is crazy. Shout out to the 54 over there on the YouTube stream, man. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And also, everybody, make sure y'all go check out the new vid I did just drop on Victor Wembanyama this morning. Because throughout all this, please let's not lose sight. They trying to distract us from the fact, you know what it is? I figured it out. I figured out the conspiracy, chat. LeBron James and Michael Jordan saw Victor Wembanyama last night. I said, enough with the foolishness. We are dropping the bomb this morning because we need to distract from that. Because don't nobody needs... For us to be safe in our GOAT positions, we need y'all to be distracted. We can't be having y'all look at Victor and all that. No. They called up Adam because they've been had this in the tuck. They've been keeping this in the tuck. Matter of fact, we talking about poker and gambling. I'm sure Michael Jordan sat at a table. I am so sure Michael Jordan sat down at a table or two. I'm just saying.
way, the defendants fleeced the victims out of tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars per game. The defendants used a variety of very sophisticated cheating technologies, some of which were provided thousands of dollars away. Were in on the scam. Once the game was underway, the defendants fleeced the victims out of tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars per game. The defendants used a variety of very sophisticated cheating technologies, some of which were provided by other defendants in exchange for a share of the profits from the scheme. For example, they used off-the-shelf shuffling machines that had been secretly altered in order to read the cards in the deck, predict which player at the table had the best poker hand, and relay that information to an off-site operator. The off-site operator sent the information via cell phone back to a co-conspirator at the table, and that person at the table was known as the quarterback. The quarterback...
These niggas got positions? Oh my goodness. These niggas is running. These niggas running trips right. H-back counter. What? Trips right. We're gonna go trips right. Omaha, H-back counter to the left. On three, on three, on three. Ready, break. All right, you see, hey, no safety help. They ain't got no safety help over the top. These niggas running plays and got these niggas running plays and then bug the defensive coordinator's mic on the other end. They already know what defense they in. They already know what defense they in. They said that they could read. They could read the other people's hands and know who had the best card hand. And then could relay that to an operator for the operator to let the quarterback know who got the, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing?
And then signaled secretly the information he had received from to others at the table, and together they used that information in order to win their games and to cheat the victims. The defendants used other cheating technologies such as poker chip tray analyzers, which is a poker chip tray that secretly reads cards using a hidden camera, special contact lenses or eyeglasses that could read pre-marked cards, chip tray such as defendants used other cheating technologies such as poker chip tray analyzers, which is a poker chip tray that secretly reads cards.
These niggas had CIA equipment to hold niggas. Oh, bro. What?
Using a hidden camera, special contact lenses or eyeglasses that could read pre-marked cards, and an X-ray table that could read cards face down on the table.
An X-ray table. Mind y'all, I told y'all months ago, I'm in school right now becoming an X-ray tech. I promise you I have nothing to do with this case. I just want to make sure everybody knows I'm in radiation therapy, yes, but I am not involved. I promise. I'll raise my left hand and say it. I promise. I'm not involved. These niggas got. How can you? Yes, left hand. How can you? What? An X-ray table. These niggas got an X-ray table. They got spy glasses and spy contact lenses. That's what they said. To pick up marked cards. Oh, man.
What you see depicted on the screen right now is an example of the X-ray table that reveals the cards. Although they are face down on the table, they can be read because of the X-ray technology. The Mafia, specifically members and associates of the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese organized crime families, had pre-existing control over non-rigged, illegal poker games around New York City. As a result, they also became involved in the rigged poker games, helping to organize the games and taking a cut of the proceedings, and working to enforce the collection of debts. The defendants laundered their proceeds.
Oh my goodness. They just said that the mob, the mafia, was involved in the poker games, involved in rigging them, getting a percentage of the rigging. And then, did y'all catch the last part? Was also involved in the collection of debt. Meaning there are niggas floating in Brooklyn as we speak. There are people missing. Also, very, very quickly, shout out to the 59 over there on YouTube. Again, make sure you like the stream and make sure you subscribe. Zizi, if you could, if you here, drop the link in the chat, please. Drop the link in the chat. Very quickly, y'all, not to derail. Thank you, ZZ. In the playback, shout out to the 190 plus in playback, man. Make sure you're a member of the room. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when we're live. This has just come out 10 minutes ago. LeBron James was reportedly the player Damon Jones used inside information about before a February 2023 Bucks-Laker game. Oh, man. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Proceeds, including through cash exchanges, the use of multiple shell companies, and through cryptocurrency transfers. As part of the scheme, some of the defendants and their co-conspirators also committed acts of violence, including the gunpoint robbery of a person in order to obtain a rigged shuffling machine, and extortions that were perpetrated against victims in order to ensure that they repaid their gambling debts.
I told y'all it's niggas floating in the harbor somewhere over the man. They said the mob was involved in the debt collection. What, you thought they was doing that friendly? They over there in the Hudson River floating.
Defendants who participated in the rigged poker scheme are charged with wire fraud conspiracy. Other defendants have been charged with crimes including illegal gambling, money laundering, Hobbs Act robbery, and extortions. This case demonstrates our office's unrelenting commitment to fighting the scourge of organized crime in whatever form it takes. I'd like to conclude my remarks by thanking the incredible hard work of our law enforcement partners, including the FBI, Homeland Security, the NYPD, and the Waterfront Commission. I also want to thank the dedicated prosecutors who built these two cases and who are standing to my right. Benjamin Weintraub, David Bourbon, Caitlin Farrell, Michael Gibaldi, Irisa Chen, and Sean Sherman. They had the assistance of paralegal specialists Liam McNett, John Schneider, Marlene Bosler. Also deserving of our thanks because of their outstanding investigative work on the NBA case are FBI Special Agents Russell Lantier, Dominic Mariani.
Bro, is this a no nigga zone? Like what? I don't see none. What the fuck? I don't see not a one. Wait, is he maybe up here in the front all the way to the right? Nah, that ain't no. That ain't no. Bro. Yeah, he got some. Yeah, bro, this crazy, bro. This crazy, bro.
Amy Giarosa, Shane Wilkins, and Supervisory Special Agent Luke Hardison. On the rigged poker game scheme, outstanding work was performed by FBI Special Agents Thomas Cribbin, Jeff Boriola, Jonathan Corona, Alexander Silverman, Amy Campanaro, and Supervisory Special Agent Michael Malahi, as well as NYPD Task Officer James McCullough,
Yeah, we're looking at
and from Homeland Security, Supervisory Special Agent Charles Freund, and from the Waterfront Commission, Detective Paul Shimborski. Finally, I want to note that the investigations in both cases are ongoing, and we encourage anyone with information about either scheme to please contact the FBI. Now I would like to turn the podium over to Special Agent in charge of the New York Field.
Bro, what's going on with they stream?
In charge of the New York Field Office of the FBI, Christopher Rea. Chris?
All right, thank you, Joe. As always, we appreciate the partnership here. Can't do any of this without you and your team, so thank you. Also want to publicly thank the director for coming down from D.C. The director's a very busy person, and for him to come down should tell you the importance of this historic case. I'm Christopher Rea, the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI New York Field Office. Today, as you've heard, our office conducted a massive nationwide takedown from 2 indictments of 34 defendants for their alleged involvement in 2 separate illegal poker and sports betting schemes where, as you heard, the odds were rigged in their favor. Among these defendants are 13 members and associates of the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese crime families, to include capos and soldiers from these families. Additionally, as you heard, current and former NBA coaches and players are also implicated, to include Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier. 3 of the named defendants are charged for their alleged roles in both schemes. This alleged illegal gambling operation hustled unwitting victims out of tens of millions of dollars and created a financial pipeline for La Cosa Nostra to help fund and facilitate their organized criminal activity. Victims were attracted to play alongside well-known professional athletes and coaches like Chauncey Billups, only to be unknowingly deceived through rigged shuffling machines, fixing the odds in their favor, as alleged and as you just heard from the U.S. Attorney's Office. This alleged scheme wreaked havoc across the nation, exploiting the notoriety of some and the wallets of many to fund the Italian crime families here in New York. Let me be clear about this fact. The FBI has not and will never take their eye off the ball when it comes to Italian organized crime in this city, specifically the LCN and the 5 families here in New York. We are not going to permit any criminal enterprise, whether it be Italian organized crime, Asian organized crime, Eurasian organized crime. We're not going to permit any of those organized crimes, families, and organizations to operate in our city or our country. As
I'm sorry. The fact that this is, again, this keeps coming back to my mind, but I'm sorry. The fact that this was going on in New York, where Trump did a lot of his business, the fact that it's involving the mafia, I'm not saying, but I'm saying no. I'm not saying, but I'm saying no. All 3, 4, 5 families of the mafia, and then again talking and coming down on the NBA of all leagues. This is strange to me. It's strange. It's strange.
evidenced by the 11 states that were also participating in this operation today. The FBI office here in New York remains committed to eradicating all unlawful revenue streams fueling this criminal activity. As with most cases we work, this is only the tip of the iceberg for the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office. Our LCN squad agents and analysts are continuing to work day and night with the Eastern District of New York to ensure members and associates of the 5 families cannot continue to wreak havoc in our communities. Today would not have been possible without the tireless efforts and dedication of the FBI New York Eurasian Organized Crime Task Force, which, as you heard, was led by Supervisory Special Agent Luke Hardison, and the Italian Organized Task Force, which was led by Supervisory Special Agent Mike Malahi. And coincidentally, Supervisory Special Agent Malahi is going out on a positive as he is retiring at the end of this month for 30 years of dedicated service to the FBI, and that deserves a hand. Additionally, obviously, we cannot do this alone without our partners. I want to extend my appreciation to Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent in Charge, Ricky Patel. Of course, we do nothing in this city without the NYPD. New York City Police Department Commissioner Jesse Tisch, thank you, ma'am, for all your work and all your resources that you dedicated to this. And New York Waterfront Commissioner Phoebe Soriel for their agency's assistance and support throughout this lengthy and complex investigation. Our collective efforts ensured these subjects will face accountability, like the director said, for their alleged wrongdoings. Thank you, and I'll now turn it over to Special Agent in Charge of HSI, Ricky Patel.
Thanks, Chris. Good afternoon, everyone.
Wait, are they related? Because that's Kash Patel. I'm just... All right. Come on.
My name is Ricky Patel. I'm the Special Agent in Charge for Homeland Security Investigations here in New York. This morning, hundreds of special agents and investigators with HSI, the FBI, the New York Waterfront Commission, and the NYPD descended upon the homes of individuals who for years have operated with the false sense of impunity,
Facts.
a false sense of incivility. In the early hours of today, across 9 states coast to coast, dozens of defendants were arrested and will face the consequences of their alleged crimes. This was their wake-up call. With the alleged involvement of 3 La Cosa Nostra crime families, 1 NBA head coach, a Hall of Famer, no less, and former NBA players, The years of investigative work that culminated with this morning's operation seem reminiscent of a Hollywood movie. But this wasn't luck, and this wasn't theatrics. This was an evidence-driven, relentless, and unified effort among law enforcement.
Y'all gonna like
Through
that
what we
tweet.
have dubbed
Y'all gonna like to
Operation
retweet
Royal
that tweet.
Flush, HSI New York, along with our task force personnel from the Waterfront Commission, first uncovered this scheme more than 4 years ago. Agents and investigators dedicated countless hours and sleepless nights in identifying the criminal network, dissecting communications and patterns, and following the money with precision. We built a case, piece by piece, and what we discovered was a sprawling criminal enterprise that utilized cutting-edge technology and various methods of deception to dupe unsuspecting gamblers into paying up so that these defendants could cash out. As alleged, this sophisticated conspiracy cheated victims out of at least $7 million and placed the public and the defendants alike at risk. This case involved global reach, financial depth, and the patience to dismantle complex financial criminal enterprises from the inside out. When criminal organizations attempt to launder profits through our country, HSI connects the dots and shuts it down. To anyone who thinks intimidation, fraud, or violence will shield their profits, understand this. If you are exploiting our communities, expect HSI and all of our law enforcement partners at your door. I would like to thank all our partners here today. Obviously, the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, the Waterfront Commission, the FBI, the NYPD, and the prosecutors that will carry this forward.
No way gambling is this big of a deal. ZZ, you don't know wealthy people. Yeah, you don't know rich people. Gambling is a big deal, bro. Yeah, gambling is a big deal. And a lot of, I'm not going to say all, a lot of rich people gamble. And I'm talking about big money. It's not a coincidence when you see a lot of these shows dealing with like criminal activity and whatnot. There are always scenes where you have to go to this underground casino or underground party that hosts this big gambling where everybody in there, number one, is on timing. And number two, down there gambling millions of dollars. This is common. Yeah, this is common. And gambling, even if you're not on that level, gambling is, you know what I'm saying? I make some good money. I stay at the casino. If you here in Houston, I know plenty of people in Houston and in Texas that drive up over there to Lake Charles frequently to have them a good time every other weekend. People gamble, bro. We be gambling. Prize pit. Now we be gambling $5, $10 at a time. $5, $10 at a time. We are not. Yeah. We ain't on that level. Nowhere near that level. Now, Tune, we gonna relax on that. We gonna relax on that today. Yeah, we're gonna relax on that today. Have I met Gil before? Hell no, I ain't met Gil.
Today's arrests are not an endpoint. They are the start of accountability. Thank you, and I now turn it over to Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch.
Good morning. Thank you
Thanks,
to Director
Kelly J.
Patel, Assistant Director Rhea, and
We be ready to fight over that $20 we losing. Bobby ready to punch a wall over that $20 I just lost. These niggas done lost 500,000 in one sitting and just go home. What? What? No.
U.S. Attorney Nocella. What we're announcing today is not just another takedown. It's the result of more than 2 years of coordinated investigative work by the NYPD's Joint Organized Crime Task Force and the FBI. 2 cases that exposed criminal networks led by 34 individuals who believed the rules did not apply to them. They hid behind layers of complexity, behind money, and behind influence, believing those things would shield them from accountability.
Like,
the
that is
first
a good
case,
point. I would not be
Operation Nothing
surprised
But
if there's
Bet,
some referees
exposed a
involved.
gambling ring built around professional
Wouldn't be surprised
basketball,
one bit.
where players and associates
They did
allegedly
say it's,
used inside information to manipulate prop bets on major sports betting platforms.
30
They
people got
placed
arrested.
wagers on unders on players to score less, rebound less, assist less, using information that was not yet public. In some instances, players altered their performance or took themselves out of games to make sure that those bets paid out.
Now, the poker one can be caught because they're using different devices. You know what I'm saying? There's ways to track this. I will say this, though. If you were running the over-under scheme and you got traced back for that, you're dumber than I originally thought. How do you get caught with that? Are you texting this nigga to bet under? You don't text nobody that. Hey, bro. Hey. Dumb. He dumb. Hey, bro. Hey. Go bet the under on me. What? That's the one you should be able to get away with. I'm sorry. That's the one you should be able to get away with. Riddell said, crazy if we find out Chauncey Billups was taking players out of the game for gambling purposes, sabotaging the Blazers. But, they won more games than they originally were expected to last year. But I'm not going to lie. A coach on a tanking team could get away with that, though, because they're tanking anyway. You know what, Riddell? Because a team that was involved, oh my goodness, and Penn, the only reason why we know is because Penn talks about it. The Raptors last year, because they said the Raptors were involved. Penn religiously reminds us how Scotty Barnes was just getting taken out of games, not finishing games in the fourth. They would sit their entire starting five. I'm just saying. Let me ask y'all something. Do y'all hear them outside cutting that grass? No? Good. Because it's loud as hell for me. I'm just saying that it make a little sense.
One example occurred on March 23rd, 2023 in Charlotte. Terry Rozier, an NBA player now with the Miami Heat, but at the time playing for the Hornets, allegedly let others close to him know that he planned to leave the game early with a supposed injury. Using that information, members of the group placed more than $200,000 in wagers on his under statistics. Rozier exited the game after just 9 minutes, and those bets paid out, generating tens of thousands of dollars in profit. The proceeds were later delivered to his home, where the group counted their cash. As the NBA season tips off, his career is already benched, not for injury, but for integrity.
Wait. Did they say they found cash at his home? Let's go. Wait. They counted it at his house. These niggas good.
Sure that those bets paid out. One example occurred on March 23rd, 2023 in Charlotte. Terry Rozier, an NBA player now with the Miami Heat, but at the time playing for the Hornets, allegedly let others close to him know that he planned to leave the game early with a supposed injury. Using that information, members of the group placed more than $200,000 in wagers on his under statistics.
So Terry Rozier was that ass on purpose? Oh my goodness. At least now we know he's not actually that bad of a basketball player. That's the silver lining. At least we know he's not actually just dog shit at the sport. Mind you, this nigga makes $25 million a year. Oh my goodness. He making $25 million a year, willing to risk his livelihood trying to make 200 grand. These niggas so backwards. These niggas so backwards.
Rozier exited the game after just 9 minutes, and those bets paid out, generating tens of thousands of dollars in profit. The proceeds were later delivered to his home, where the group counted their cash. As the NBA season tips off, his career is already benched, not for injury, but for integrity. As a result of this investigation, 6 defendants, including Rozier, are now facing
I really need them to stop trying to get these little one-liner zingers off because they're not landing. Please, just tell us what happened. And are her neck and chin in agreement? Are they one? Is that one body? The fuck am I looking at? All for one and one for all. Let me be quiet, man. I'm sorry. That's not why we're here. It's not why we're here. It's not why we're here.
conspiracy to commit bank and wire fraud. In a second case, Operation Zen Diagram, investigators uncovered a long-running scheme in which members and associates of several well-known organized crime families rigged high-stakes poker games across the country. These operatives included capos and multiple soldiers from the Bonanno, Gambino, Lucchese, and Genovese crime families, bringing 4 of the 5 families together in a single indictment is extraordinarily rare. It reflects how deep and how far this investigation reached and the skill and the persistence it took to get here. That work uncovered a deliberate, technologically sophisticated operation designed to carry out their crimes. They used custom shuffling machines that could read the order of cards, barcoded decks, and hidden cameras built into tables and light fixtures. The organizers also enlisted well-known public figures for...
Where are they getting all of this special equipment from? And how do I get my hands on it? Bro, these niggas. Bro. Well, I'm out. Nah, Dre, where you going, bro? Where you going, bro?
Former and current NBA players and coaches, including Chauncey Billups, the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, an NBA champion and a Hall of Famer, to make the games appear legitimate.
Oh, we got our first super chat on YouTube. Shout out to Riddell. Go on the panel and use that line about Kawhi or Terry now. I want to see it. Talk that dirty money, foreign incentive. Riddell, what you mean? What line? What line are you referring to? Shout out to Riddell, man.
Victims believed that they were sitting at a fair table. Instead, they were cheated out of millions. One victim in particular lost $1.8 million. In total, losses exceeded $7 million and continue to climb.
Oh my goodness! They trigger niggas out millions. Oh my goodness. Oh no. They said a nigga lost 7 mil.
And when people refused to pay, these defendants did what organized crime has always done. They used threats, they used intimidation, and they used violence. It's the same pattern that we have seen for decades. Traditional mob enforcement methods combined with new technology to expand the reach of their operations. Now, with the unsealing of today's indictment, 34 individuals are facing charges, including robbery, extortion, money laundering, wire fraud, bank fraud, and illegal gambling. I want to commend.
Wait, y'all seen I'm sorry, did I miss it? They saying they killed him.
Took to get here. That work uncovered a deliberate, technologically sophisticated operation designed to carry out their crimes. They used custom shuffling machines that could read the order of cards, barcoded decks, and hidden cameras built into tables and light fixtures. The organizers also enlisted well-known public figures, former and current NBA players and coaches, including Chauncey Billups, the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, an NBA champion and a Hall of Famer, to make the games appear legitimate. Victims believed that they were sitting at a fair table. Instead, they were cheated out of millions. One victim in particular lost $1.8 million. In total, losses exceeded $7 million and continue to climb. And when people refused to pay, these defendants did what organized crime has always done. They used threats, they used intimidation, and they used violence. It's the same pattern that we have seen for decades. Traditional mob enforcement methods combined with new technology to expand the reach of their operations. Now, with the unsealing.
Yeah, it's really niggas in the Hudson River right now. This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh man. Wow, wow, wow. The mob scamming niggas in a poker game using NBA head coaches. They not bench for injuries, but bench for integrity. Oh, that line right there. Okay. This is crazy, man.
Of today's indictment, 34 individuals are facing charges, including robbery, extortion, money laundering, wire fraud, bank fraud, and illegal gambling. I want to commend the outstanding work of our detectives from the Joint Organized Crime Task Force and their dedication to these cases, especially Captain Sergeant Chris McGuire, Detective Alexander Creamer, Detective James McCullough, and of course our Chief of Detectives, Chief Kenny. As part of these investigations, our members recovered and reviewed thousands of hours of video, conducted extensive surveillance on illegal.
Facts, no layers. I need y'all to really understand how sick this is. So they are going out of their way targeting these people, the fishes. They bring them in to play an already rigged poker game set up and designed for the fish to take the bait and lose, to then, if the fish doesn't pay the money, go and enact violence on them for not paying the money owed from the rigged poker game. This is absolutely absurd. Oh my goodness.
Gambling locations across the city and executed more than 24 search warrants on electronic records that revealed the true extent of this conspiracy. Once again, the work of our detectives, together with the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office, closed those gaps before they could widen further. The NYPD is proud to stand with each of you today, as these cases represent the kind of partnership that defines modern law enforcement agencies, sharing intelligence, coordinating resources, and moving as one team. Thank you.
If anyone has any questions that they'd like to ask, now is the time.
I had a question about the structure of the case. Is it the investigation into one case, did that lead into the discovery of the other? How you can talk more about the link between the two?
I'm not at liberty to discuss either the back.
What? I know it's muted. Did they censor what he's saying?
Me a possibility that there will be further evidence uncovered at a minimum. It means that there will be further evidence uncovered at a minimum, and there's always that possibility, but I can't comment any further with respect to that. Yes.
Thank you. Director Patel, you had said in your comments, we're going to take heat for this case. Why do you say that, and what efforts might you take to counter that?
It's not popular to go after some of the defendants that we went after today, but justice is served blindly. And how do we countermand that? Simple. The unsealing of these indictments today shows the force of the Department of Justice and our great Attorney General and the leadership that we have at the FBI and the team here to specifically mete out justice. And look, let's not, mince words. This is the insider trading saga for the NBA. That's what this is. That's why we are going to take heat. But as the evidence comes out, as the indictments are unsealed, you will see the extensive work these men and women put in, countless hours over years, and that's how we countermand it.
So the dates on these indictments that have been filed are October 9th and October 16th. Can you talk about the timing of moving in now? Why now?
We will not publicly discuss the timing of when we do takedowns. I will only say that we do takedowns in a coordinated fashion with our law enforcement partners and the U.S. Attorney at the appropriate time to make sure that we ensure the integrity of the investigation, as the United States Attorney said, an investigation that is very much ongoing.
Director Patel, you said insider trading for the NBA. What are the implications of this case for other sports leagues and for the legal gambling industry in general?
Simple. If you're participating in the legal gambling industry, you got nothing to worry about. If you're participating in illegal conduct, you got everything to worry about, and this case shows it.
Did the illegal conduct cross?
This guy, I'm sorry. This guy is, I don't like him. I don't like him. Can we replay the last part? Well, they basically said, well, if you are legally gambling, you have nothing to worry about. But if you're illegally gambling, because he asked about the other leagues and the implication of this for the other leagues. Now, I'm sorry. Again, I'm going to say it again. To me, there's a reason why they're going after the NBA specifically about this. To me, there's no way that the mob, if they were introducing athletes as far as using them for lure to come play in the poker game, there's no way they were just using NBA players. Like, let's be fucking for real, bro. Yeah, Otani didn't Otani recently have like some gambling you know? Mind you, Otani also in LA. Also in LA where Gilbert Arenas lives. Just allegedly.
With the legal sports betting platforms in any capacity, and if so, is that the search warrants that the police commissioner just referenced?
I'm not sure I quite understand your question. You're asking if the illegal conduct...
If it crossed with, like, the sports betting industry, or the online sports betting.
The sports books themselves are victims in this case. They themselves did not, as far as our investigation has concluded, they did not perpetrate anything unlawful.
Are you able to say which sports books or online outlets they...
Bad karma. I ain't paying for the athletic.
I'm not going to respond to that at this time, but that information will be made public. Yes.
Can you identify the access point where these co-conspirators were able to recruit these, famous people to partake in the schemes?
When you say the access point,
They were able to recruit them.
I'm not sure which case you're referring to.
Rozier.
And that will be revealed in due course. Yes.
He was being...
What is your question, sir?
Hey, thanks for being here.
Chinese agent and a
You just
gambler
said that
from
the
not here.
sports,
I hear you.
sports
EE.
books
I hear you.
themselves are the
Shout out to the
victims, at least
70 plus in the
indictment
YouTube
of
chat, man.
Terry
Make sure you
Rozier
like the
and
stream. Make
others.
sure
You're
you
among the
subscribe.
victims.
Okay, but those companies make, as we all know, they make a crazy amount of money off of a lot of everyday Americans make bets and mostly lose them. Are you concerned with a jury potentially not being sympathetic in a case where the victims, as you say, are these multi-million or billion-dollar gambling companies?
Let me repeat that all of the defendants themselves are presumed innocent. We believe that at a trial, when they have the opportunity to present their defenses if they chose, because they're not required to, we will come forward with the evidence to demonstrate their guilt. Yes.
There's been, I'm sorry.
Did the NBA cooperate with this investigation at all?
The answer to your question is yes, the NBA has cooperated with the investigation. Yes, sir.
There's been a reason to believe there's an associated college basketball element to this. Can you confirm that, or is there another investigation or part of this investigation that will affect college basketball?
The investigations that we announced today did not involve college basketball.
Last question.
Yes.
There was an emphasis on the Italian crime presence, organized crime in New York. Can you give us a sense of the strength and status of Italian organized crime in New York right now?
No, I'm sorry. That would be a question that goes beyond what we're here to discuss today, which is these two indictments. Thank you.
Everybody.
Good job.
And so there is that press conference. Here is something, and this is from July 3rd, 2025, but this is outlining the history of the mafia's ties to gambling and sports betting. So the Bugs and Mayor Mob, right, were The Bugs and Mayor mob were a Jewish American street gang named after Mayor Lansky and Benjamin Bugsy Siegel. The gang made a name for themselves as the most violent gang of the Prohibition era and busied themselves with grand theft auto, extortion, murder, and forming the National Crime Syndicate. A little bit about the leaders born. Yeah, I don't even finna attempt that last name. In today's Belarus to Polish Jewish parents. Lansky's arrived in America in 1911, settling on the Lower East Side of New York. All of this always happens in New York, by the way. All of this always happens in New York. Oh my goodness, they got a clip of hold on. First off, let's also go here. At the Porter / Billups charity poker tournament tonight. No, he got screwed. Is this the X-ray table? Is this the X-ray table? Being at the Porter Billups, this is, by the way, this is from 2022. This is from 2022. That brother was at the Billups. Yes, it's real. The Billups Porter, mind you, Michael Porter Jr. Brother just got kicked out the league for the sports betting and gambling shit. Is he still alive? Let's see. Let's see if he's tweeted recently. Yeah. 2 hours ago. You see, he ain't said nothing about this. He ain't said a word. The mom nigga said, boy, you bet say something. I dare you. I triple dog dare you to say something. Or he was part of he part of the play. He part of the play. Yeah, he part of the play. Oh man, here's Chauncey Billups last night in his press conference.
No, you know I don't. That pressure thing is nothing to me, man. I do the best I can and let the chips fall where they may. You know that about me by now, quick.
Salute. Salute. Let the chips fall where they may. And you know that about me, Luke. You know that. Come on now. You know that about me. Lock this thug up. That's crazy, Rod. That's crazy. That's crazy, Rod. Oh no. I know Stags Beats. What's up, Stags Beats? Shout out again to the YouTube, man. Make sure you like the stream over there. Shout out to the 46 we got over there. Make sure you like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. Dre, we got anything else? That's about it right now. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Because now sports shows finna start talking about it. Let's see what on the stream side, this may have to be taken out the stream because this is ESPN and we know they be funny. on the stream side. Dre, I'm just letting you know that. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Portland's Chauncey Billups and Miami's Terry Rozier have been placed on immediate leave by the NBA. Immediate leave by the NBA. Is there a statement? Is this a statement? Here we go. Here's the statement. Shout out to Chris Haynes. Shout out to Chris Haynes. NBA statement, New York. Oh my goodness, the NBA is based in New York as well. October 23rd, 2025. The NBA issued the following statement today. We are in the process of reviewing the federal indictments announced today. Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups are being placed on immediate leave from their teams, and we will continue to cooperate with the relevant authorities. We take these allegations with the utmost seriousness, and the integrity of our game remains our top priority. Something that got said multiple times, by the way, which I definitely want to know. They said that they've arrested 30 people this morning. I want to know the other people getting arrested. 34? It's probably regular workers. Maybe, bruh. Maybe, bruh. Here's Sham's clip, but this is some time ago though. This is some time ago, but let's see.
We are back on Get Up Live in New York with major breaking news, as we've touched on early this morning, from the NBA involving not one but two arrests of notable people within the NBA. Shams is with us. We've been following your Twitter feed all morning long, Shams, as you've been reporting on it. For those who've not heard anything about this, just tell everyone everything they need to know. What has happened this morning?
Greeny, Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier have both been arrested this morning. Billups at around 6 a.m. in Portland, Oregon, and Rozier around 6 a.m., I'm told, in Orlando, where the Heat were playing last night. Rozier's been arrested for his involvement in alleged sports gambling, prop bets, and Billups, ABC News is reporting, is tied to an illegal poker operation tied to the mafia. And so the FBI has been investigating this situation for several months, and in Rozier's case, at least 2 years. And today is making arrests. There is a press conference that is set by the FBI. The Eastern District of New York has been leading this investigation.
Yeah, so there's really no new info there. But here is here is First Take talking about the subject matter. Stephen A. warns that President Trump could be coming for the WNBA next after targeting the NFL over Bad Bunny and the NBA over gambling. Those two subjects have nothing to do with one another. Conservatives being mad, excuse me. Again, I told you I've been losing my voice since opening night. Conservatives being mad about Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl halftime is not the equivalent of a whole RICO on the NBA. Also, Mr. Fat Man, that tirade you went on about that Bad Bunny situation, egregious. Can you please stand up and respect yourself? We're gonna have to do a video on Whitlock. I'm sorry. Eventually we're gonna do a video on that one. Yeah. Cause he is shameless, bro. Let's see what Stephen A had to say, man.
How many times, for one incident after another, have I said Trump is coming? He's coming. I'm going to say it on national television again. Bad Bunny is performing at the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden you hearing ICE is going to be there, looking to engage in mass deportations. The Super Bowl, disrupting things. Big night for the NBA. Wembanyama put on a show. That has now been smeared because we're talking about this story, okay? Remember, Trump has a long, long history connected to the world of sports because he had those casinos. Where do you think folks were coming half the time?
Trump had casinos, did a lot of business in New York. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on. It don't take a rocket scientist. I also don't like the tone in which Stephen A is addressing these situations. He's not addressing it like it's a bad thing. Yeah, he's making it sound like proud. You know what I'm saying? He's not saying it with enough vitriol, is what I'm saying. Especially that point about Bad Bunny and the fact that they're now saying ICE is going to be at the Super Bowl. This clip is him begging himself, Wes. But at this point, Wes, this situation, that situation in particular, that's bigger than, oh, I'm right about something. If ICE is at the Super Bowl, to be honest, y'all, and this is the honest, we've already lost the plot. No, and this isn't going to turn into anything, but the state of the United States is, we got the National Guard just invading other people's state. We got the Texas National Guard going up to Chicago. We got Trump going after political opponents and saying, hey, I want such and such a we got Trump telling Texas to just make up 5 congressional seats. We have ICE just invading cities with no knock warrants, no nothing, just going, disappearing people. Not uniformed, unidentified, going into cities, just arresting people and disappearing them. Some of these people we don't hear from again. I'm just saying, bro. Real talk, I tell you. Y'all, you had a raid at your neighborhood there? Hold on. We will definitely be getting that story.
I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the culture. When people want to go to a casino, when people want to gamble, when people want to party, or whatever the case may be, this was his kind of connection to that. Why am I glad you're here, Monica? Because Don't be surprised if the WNBA is next on his list. Because when you've got all of these protests that have been going out there and people that have been protesting against him and what have you, this man is coming. He's coming. And I've been saying it for a long time. And to me, this is the latest nugget of evidence that we're talking about right here. That's not to question the legitimacy of the case. We don't know.
Also, I see y'all in the chat. Yes, absolutely. We will always, despite any situation. Shout out to Monica McKnight. Shout out to Monica McKnight. Y'all know we love Monica over here. Y'all know we love Monica over here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You don't know Monica McKnight. You don't know who that is, Wes? You tripping. You tripping.
We're all sitting up here and we're saying that we don't know. But anybody that has been around him, anybody that has talked to him, anybody that has seen his reactions from the sports leagues and the positions that people have taken, they are not surprised at what's going on today. I'm watching a press conference with the director of the FBI. Tell me when we've seen that. We've seen people, we've seen accusations before. We've seen athletes get in trouble with the law before. You don't see the director of the FBI having a press conference. It's not coincidental. It's not an accident. It's a statement. And it's a warning that more is coming. And that's what they're saying here. And everybody better, I'm just telling you, it's as serious as it gets. This ain't the platform for me to get into it the way I'm going to get into it. But I've been saying he's coming. He's coming because in his eyes, folks try to throw him in jail. In his eyes, he's innocent. They try to put me behind bars. I'm getting everybody. He's not playing. And so this, in a lot of people's eyes, talk to people in the NBA, talk to people in the NFL, talk to people in the world of sports. They think this is like the tip of the iceberg.
He's connecting so many like situations that don't have anything to do with one another, but trying to ball it up into something that makes sense. Trump feeling like key words, feeling like he was getting attacked as an innocent man, to me does not correlate to bringing down an investigation in a RICO on the NBA. Those two things do not correspond with one another. Now, if Trump was going out of his way, going after political opponents, which he is, by the way, but doing that is a response to that situation. Not, oh, I feel persecuted while I'm innocent. Let me drop a RICO for gambling on the NBA. The NBA has no power to arrest or put charges on Donald Trump. That has nothing to do with one another. But hey, he wants you to tune in. Overall agree, but I think Cash being there was to make MAGA look good. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Which is why Cash tried to play victim. Well, this won't make us popular. Yeah. Patel was there for Trump. Absolutely. To do Trump's bidding. That's why he was there. Absolutely.
These are the kind of words that are coming out of people's mouths. It's not a surprise. It's very disheartening. It's very concerning. We don't know where this is going to go, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. Everybody's better brace themselves because he's coming.
Oh, man. This is a crazy situation. Do we have any new clips? Do we have any new intel, any new info? Is that Swiper? Oh, no. Oh, man. Look, man. Oh, wait. Is Derek here? Derek, tell us about your run in and your experience. Tell us about your run in and your experience. Shout out to the 50 plus over there in the YouTube chat, man. Make sure that you like the stream and make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the stream and make sure you subscribe. Let me get to my computer 1 sec. Okay. Never thought you up this early. Yeah, I'll be up, bro. What you talking about, bro? You be up. I remember when David Stern essentially blocked the FBI from messing around with the NBA. Adam Silver had no idea this was happening. Facts. Two completely different commissioners. Just completely different. Why do European players who are selected in the draft often look in their games as they already have a lot of experience in the NBA? MC, I would say that's just due to being a professional for a while. That means typically they've been a professional overseas. So for a minute since their teenage years. They saying that this was Terry Rozier intentionally throwing the game. Let's look.
Meter, and the meter's still running, Richard. Still going. Rozier.
Okay, dude. Hey, this is crazy. Did y'all see that pass? Yeah, no, let's start from the T. Yeah, no.
Meter, and the meter's still running, Richard.
That one, he at least played it off well. This one, this next one.
And still going. Rozier turned it over again. Having a tough night. And Rozier off the DHO. And he
oh, no. Yeah. No, this nigga gives. Yeah. Hey, no, he did it. He did it. Yeah, he did it. Yeah, he did it. He did it.
Rozier, a contested three is short. The ultimate teammates and sacrifice so much. Rozier on the shot. That all year. Empty corner two-man game.
Watched this game?
With a three.
He might have.
Anderson with a rebound. Rozier relocates for another try. Well, that was.
Oh my goodness.
Hello.
What's up, Derek?
What's up? Didn't think I'd catch a stream at 12:30. Crazy. What's up?
Yeah, man, we've been covering these allegations about the betting going on, man.
Yeah, I saw Chauncey got arrested. What's up, Zay? I am a little raspy. It's not enough water and my coffee's still brewing, so it's gonna be like this for a minute. Yeah, so Chauncey just got arrested straight up. Like they have enough evidence. Oh, and Terry got booked?
Yes.
Like for real? Oh yeah.
By the feds, arrested by the feds.
No, it's easy. I'm not at school. Oh yeah, he's barbecued. Chauncey might have enough to get out, but they've been coming after Terry for like what, 6 months now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's cooked. Yeah, I mean him playing sorry definitely looks at least more intentional than it did. But it's crazy because this happens on every single team. There's just no way. It's way too easy to make money.
That's what and not just the NBA as well.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
100%.
baseball's been doing it for over 100 years. So, it's, boxing, like everyone's taking a fall, when there's money to be made, people will take it. I mean, hey, Jake Paul has made a fortune off of fake fights. So,
exactly. Exactly.
If you can do it, people will. But yeah, so I didn't know if I had brought this up on a previous stream or not. So almost 2 weeks ago now, in my, community, about a block and a half down, there was a raid on one individual's house, 7 vehicles, probably, I'm gonna say close to 20 individuals hopped out of these cars, blocked off the street, kicked in the door, and removed one individual who happened to look Hispanic. Couldn't tell you anything. Didn't know the neighbor. And that was over the course of like maybe 40 minutes. And there were no officials there to talk to any of the neighbors. Obviously everyone's pouring out of their houses. Like, what's going on? They got sirens blaring. It's like, what an ambulance siren sounds like, what a police siren sounds like, fire truck, etc. These were different. These were just obnoxiously loud. And yeah, there was no conversation. It was knock down the door, probably 4 to like 6 minutes later, the guy's already in cuffs coming out, thrown into one of these trucks, and probably like 5, maybe 10 minutes later, they're off the street and gone. And it was spooky. All of them were wearing some kind of mask. So that was the dead giveaway that this was definitely ICE. None of the vehicles were marked. Like, it's not my local police. It's not feds. It's not state troopers. They're just, could have been anybody. Take for one person. And like I said, there was no one to talk to any of the other like neighbors or anything. And I think everyone kind of got the hint to not even approach. Because, usually like we've had fires on the street and like, people come out of their house. I've got like, neighbors who used to be part of the fire department. So like people get involved when something like that happens. There was no involvement. No one wanted to walk up. No one was asking questions. Everyone basically just stood on their stoops, and didn't really leave. And we're just talking amongst each other. And yeah, it just happened so quick and he was just gone. And I think it was the eye opener that's like, this isn't, I'm near Philly. I'm not in Philly. I'm in a suburb of Philadelphia. So this is not the same as just being in the city. I think it's an eye opener that this can happen in anyone's community anywhere across the country. But the fact that they really are it's just abduction. There's no due process. There's no explanation. There is no sense of organization. It is a bunch of wannabe masked vigilantes looking for brown people. That's what it is. And I think it's just all the more concerning because there's no explanation and no organization. Like, it's already, like, we can say it's already just a, horrific mandate the administration's doing. But the fact that there's people that you could just cosplay as an ICE member.
Yep.
Like, it's beyond easy. You can have a psychopath hop into their own F-150, put on a mask, buy a vest off of Amazon, fake badge if you really want to get into it, and go take somebody if you want. And so that was definitely, I was caught off guard because Philadelphia as of late hasn't had too much in the form of ICE off the streets. The vehicles and people have been spotted, but there's been no like controlled concentration. So it's a bad spot, man. It's a bad spot to be in. It's very disappointing and scary because we are very quickly getting on to, if you happen to be allies with someone who is suspected of being, an illegal immigrant, then, well, now you're in the way. You're a problem too. And that's why I did the McCarthyism stream. I know more than a handful of people in here probably saw it. That was like a couple weeks back. I did that, and that's meant to be a history lesson that this has happened in the country before, and has gotten worse than what it is right now. So it's just stay close, be aware, and just be careful of your surroundings because it literally can happen to anyone.
Absolutely. We definitely in times like these, man, you definitely need to stay informed. You need to stay observant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you need to stay protected and dangerous at all times, respectfully.
Yeah.
We will get more into that because I definitely want to talk about. I'll probably have to pop up on one of Derek's streams and get into that subject matter more. But I do want to present to y'all. Apparently, shout out to Wes. There was a professional gambler talking about the Chauncey Billups fixed poker games 2 years ago on Reddit.
Oh,
Let's see what he's talking about.
Can understand the rules of No Limit 2 days, and it was all built around Chauncey Billups. And I had heard about the game, and the person who told me about it was like, "Look, I know the game runners. I'm telling you 100% this game is on the up and up." And I was like, "Well, I know a lot of the people that are involved, and I'm telling you 100% that it is not on the up and up."
Yeah.
And we kind of went back and forth, and I agreed that like I just wasn't going to go play it, but I had some friends who went and played it both in LA and in Vegas, and it obviously like was for sure confirmed to be cheated.
Mhm.
Like people who clearly didn't even understand the rules of No Limit Hold'em are just like jamming hundreds of big blinds in with like a gutty and then just drilling it. Only the pros are losing. Like,
how is it figured out? Like, it just
So, mind you, this guy apparently 2 years ago invited to one of the Chauncey Billups poker nights and picks up immediately that it's rigged because he's a real poker player, and he's saying there were guys sitting there didn't have a clue of what they were doing, but they're winning, and the people that know what they're doing are losing. And he said he could pick up on that right away. Now, if you're asking, well, why couldn't others pick up on what they were doing? Sometimes you are so how do I want to put this? You just are so naive to the fact that these people would actually be doing something like this because of the status and perceived wealth that you assume they have, right? There's no way you're walking into a room. Well, for some, to me, anybody can be scammed, but there's no way. What's up, Just Blaze? For some, that they walk into a room with other fellow multimillionaires and other fellow poker players and just assume that there's some kind of foul play happening. You assume nobody in this room needs to steal. You assume nobody in this room needs to scam. I'll give y'all a perfect example of this. When I was in school, I went to high school my freshman year. I went to a private school for basketball purposes. It's called Westbury Christian, right? Westbury Christian was a private school that the tuition was, if tuition, pretty sturdy. Pretty sturdy, right? When what is this? Okay, bet. Okay, bet. I guess when we would have basketball periods and/or so we didn't have basketball periods in well, no, yes we did. I just lied. When we have basketball periods, right? Both during school and after school. This is one thing I noticed. Number one, very few lockers in the locker room. And number two, people would just leave their clothes and phones and belongings just not locked up, just out and about. Why? Because they're in an environment that would suggest, at least for them, I don't have to lock away any belongings because everybody here has. There's nobody here lacking. There's nobody here that has to steal. And so every time that would happen, now me, I used the locker. And I had a lock for the locker. Yeah, I don't do that foolishness. For me, I put my shit in the locker and locked it every single time. But it dawned on me then, I'm like, coming from schools I went to, where nigga, if you were wearing a pair of Jordans and you change shoes, don't let them be the new Jordans that came out. Even if you put them in your locker, and you switch shoes to your gym class shoes or your running shoes or whatever, they breaking into your locker getting them shits. Don't let them be the new cool gray 11s that just came out and you put them in a locker. Nigga, please. We need them. Yeah, we need them to go from an environment like that then to a locker room where people aren't even using lockers. Again, to connect it back to this point about the poker and the willing naivete. A whole bunch of people going to these poker games are already under the assumption there's no foul play going on. Why? Because number one, these are all professionals with status that I'm dealing with. And number two, everybody here is rich and wealthy. There's no need for foul play. Meanwhile, typically, if I'm going to keep it a buck with you, those are the environments that usually have the most foul play going on. Because the assumption is nothing's going on. Don't forget the ego trip, though. People want to. Exactly. And that. Right? You walk in, let's say you lose one time, you don't want to look like the cheap nigga that can't afford to keep playing. So you lose $25K, you finna bet 50 on the next hand. You lose that, you finna bet 100 on the next hand. Meanwhile, the x-ray table looking at all your cards. X-ray table looking at they looking at your ace, jack, that 3 of clubs you got. We see it all. and we reporting it to the quarterback because we finna set up our next play. Crazy times we living in right now, bro. Crazy times we are living in right now. Crazy times. But yes, that will be all for me as of right now. If anything else comes out, we will be live later tonight watching the games. And so we'll talk about it there. I appreciate everybody that popped out this morning, man. We got up to 200 plus at 10 a.m. We got over to like 70 plus in the YouTube chat, peeked over there. So shout out to everybody for pulling up. If you're not a member of the room, make sure you become a member of the room. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're live. Also, to the YouTube chat, make sure you like the stream and make sure you hit that link in the Discord to join us over here in the playback room as well, where we will be watching the games. But also turn that notification on that YouTube as well, because I'm going live there every time that we watch the games as well. And you can have fun with us in the YouTube chat and in the playback chat. So until next time, it's been real. These niggas is out of control.